Bryan Scott is not a household name, and his journey to the USFL shows how important timing can be sometimes. His career may have had a much different trajectory had his growth spurt come sooner, or had he transferred out of the Division III school. He may have been a completely different person, but none of those things happened. Scott, who thought his football career would be over after high school, will now be the face of the Philadelphia Stars of the USFL. In this video, I will be going over Bryan Scott's insane football journey so far. Bryan Scott was born on August 17, 1995, and grew up in Rolling Hills, California. Scott started his high school football career at Palos Verdes High School, arriving as a scrawny freshman who was 5'1". Yes, you heard that right. By the time he was a junior, Scott had only grown a few inches, and then everything would change. Going into his senior year, he would have a major growth spurt, growing to be 6'1". This allowed Scott to compete for the starting quarterback job for the first time in his career, and he would not let the opportunity go to waste. He led his high school to an 11-3 record, winning the 2012 Southern Section California Interscholastic Federation Championship for the first time in 47 years. He finished the year throwing for 1,988 yards and was invited to play in some All-Star games. At the time, Scott thought high school was going to be where his football career came to an end. He had won a state championship but was happy about how things ended. Then, during an All-Star game, Bryan would cross paths with Occidental College head coach Doug Simonis. Simonis was impressed by Scott and asked if he would want to take a trip up to his school for a visit. At the time, Bryan had never heard of Occidental College, a Division III school part of the Southern California Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. He decided to take a leap of faith and took a visit to the school. He fell in love with it and attended one of the football practices. He felt faith was guiding him there. In the second game of his freshman year, the starting quarterback would go down with an injury, and Bryan was thrown into the starting role. While some may have crumbled under the pressure, Scott flourished, earning second-team All-SCIAC selection and the Conference Newcomer Player of the Year. After his early success, Scott thought about transferring to a larger, more visible school, but ultimately chose to stay at Occidental College. They were the only school that had offered him an opportunity coming out of high school, and he was going to be loyal. Scott became a first-team All-Conference selection in 2015 and 2016, earning the SCIAC Player of the Year award in the latter season. He finished his senior year throwing for 3,058 yards, 27 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in 9 games, and added 8 more scores on the ground. He was given the nickname the Aaron Rodgers of Division III because of his quick release, accuracy, and ability to extend plays with his feet. He also claims he has a little fire in him too. In 33 collegiate games, he threw for 9,073 yards, 77 touchdowns, and only 22 interceptions, completing 763 passes and finishing with 9,475 total yards. He broke numerous school records while at Occidental and is viewed as the greatest quarterback to come from the school. Along with playing Division III football, Scott also played for the U19 USA national football team, and he led the USA to a gold medal finish at the IFAF World Championship in Kuwait, bringing the team back from a 14-12 deficit, throwing for 4 touchdowns in the second half and being named the MVP of the game. After his collegiate career was over, Bryan would enter the 2017 NFL Draft. He'd make the 11-mile trek to USC to participate in their pro day, completing 62 of his 64 passes, having 1 drop. While at the pro day, he threw with future NFL wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, among others. At the time, he was working with quarterback guru Norm Chow and was just hoping to have an opportunity to impress NFL coaches. He would go undrafted and sign with the BC Lions of the CFL in April, but included a provision in his contract that he would be released if given the opportunity to earn a spot on an NFL roster. On May 1st, 2017, first-year head coach Sean McVay invited Bryan to the Los Angeles Rams rookie minicamp. This was a dream opportunity for Bryan, who had grown up rooting for the Rams even when they played in St. Louis. At the time, Scott said he was just happy to be there. The hometown kid had been passed up in the 2017 NFL Draft, and he was just excited to get out there and compete. But his tune would change by the end of the camp. He told Sporting News, "The biggest thing I took away from that, if I'm being really honest, is that I felt like I could for sure play at that level. I stepped in and it went really well. And to be honest with you, I think it might have shocked the Rams a little bit." Scott said the Rams called him the best quarterback at the camp, but an invitation to compete for their final 53-man roster never materialized. Bryan considered stepping away from football after his opportunity with the Rams, but his agent told him about the Spring League. Scott told the Daily Breeze, "I kept with my training and working on everything I needed to work on, but I wasn't sure I was going to continue playing. Then my agent signed me up for the Spring League in October, and I started working on my footwork and quarterback mechanics. I was just focused on becoming the best quarterback I could be." While he was a part of the Spring League, Scott sat in the meeting rooms with former NFL quarterbacks Johnny Manziel and Zach Mettenberger, among others. Unlike normal NFL games, the Spring League players were all coached by the same coaches and split up on the 2 games. So, Scott and Manziel got to sit in the same meeting rooms, and he developed a good relationship with Johnny, who made sure he kept on the playbook. Scott would be coached by Bart Andrus, beating out Zach Mettenberger for the team's starting role. At the time, Andrus had never heard of Bryan Scott, but would quickly develop a relationship with him. By the end of the event, the former Titans quarterback coach and CFL head coach considered Scott to be the best quarterback at the event. Bryan would earn a workout with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons rookie minicamps. Multiple coaches from the Spring League were surprised that Bryan would not earn an NFL roster spot, and he instead signed a future contract with the CFL's then Edmonton Eskimos in October of 2019 for the 2020 season. Once the league canceled their season due to the ongoing world events, Scott opted out of his contract so he could showcase his talents somewhere, anywhere, with the goal of making an NFL team. He once again turned to his old friend, the Spring League, and was drafted by Bart Andrus as the first quarterback off the board. He outperformed everybody, throwing for 1,125 yards, 13 touchdowns and 1 interception, completing nearly 70% of his passes, leading the Generals to a 4-0 record in the TSL Championship. He was once again named the league MVP and earned workouts with the Indianapolis Colts and 2 other NFL teams. Nothing ever came out of those tryouts, and he would join the USFL, where he was once again reunited with Bart Andrus, being taken by the Philidelphia Stars 3rd overall. According to Mike Singletary, Bryan has the it factor and is a proven winner and leader. He has an infectious winning attitude that spreads belief to all of his teammates and coaches. Like I mentioned earlier, Bryan Scott's journey shows the importance of time and how crazy fate can be. What would have happened if he had ended up at a Division I school? Would he be playing in the NFL, or would his football career be over by now? No one knows. The thing is, Bryan Scott would not trade his journey for anyone else's journey because he has had to earn everything. He considers that mentality as much a strength in his relentless pursuit of the NFL in comparison to his arm talent or athleticism. And he wants to prove everyone right who has believed in him up to this point. Friends, family, coaches, and teammates. Or a few days ago, I had no idea who Bryan Scott was, and now I am a huge fan and hope to see him find a lot of success, not just in the USFL, but with an NFL team when the time comes. What do you think? Will Bryan Scott find success with Philadelphia? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see daily USFL content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, consider checking out my video recapping the 16 quarterbacks taken in the USFL draft. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.